Gods Are Fallen and All Safety Gone is a two-hander. It's a story of a mother and daughter and about 20 years of their life condensed into an hour, and it's being played by two male actors. It feels right to be doing it with two men who are playing two women, so they don't have to pretend, they don't have to act like women, they can just be these two voices.
Have you had your bath?
Yeah.
Was there enough hot water?
Yeah, there was plenty.
Did you piss in the shower again?
No, of course I didn't.
I'm just asking.
Well, I never do that.
There's 4 scenes, and basically it's one scene repeated 3 times with slight variations. And what I kind of wanted to do, I wanted to condense the lifetime of conversations between a mother and daughter. They talk about tea, about boyfriends, about the weather, but very random things that parents and children talk about. But what really happens in the scene is never what's in the lines. It's always whatever's happening underneath.
Come here.
What?
Come here.
What is it?
Toothpaste. There.
Thank you.
That's better.
For every performance we do, we invite a pair from that community, which is always a real mother and daughter from the area where we're performing, and they come and they join us before the show. We have a quick drink with them or a cup of tea, and they basically just sit there in the background, and they sometimes watch the show, sometimes they do the puzzles. But what happens is that we allow that mother and daughter to spend 2 or 3 hours of their life together thinking about their relationship, and that's something that I'm very proud of and very, very keen to keep on doing. This is a show that can be played in almost any space. So we've played it in tiny spaces, in the studios for 20 people. We played it on we played an Almeida stage, which seats about 600. And what the show does is it adjusts to space. It can be played end on, it can be played end around, because actors are not blocked. We have no idea what they're going to do or how they're going to do it. We know there's a lot of movement, and there are a couple of rules between them. But basically, it's almost like three pieces of music that are played until at the very end they come and they sit very quietly next to each other, and it all kind of zooms. It's a bit like a close-up in a film, and that's where we finish. It deals with a moment where we as children realize that our parents are mortal human beings, and it comes from this feeling that I've had for years that we never, or very rarely, we have a chance to talk to our parents as adult to an adult. You talk to a parent as a child, and then by the time you become an adult, your parent is probably gone from your life. So it's something about, I was trying to explore the idea of what happens if there is a moment where you and your parent could meet as 2 adults and have an actual conversation and see if you like each other as human beings without all the noise and all the fuss of being a parent and a child. This is obviously a very personal piece to me because it's about families and I wrote it. But what we're finding happens, which I find is amazing, is that people start bringing their parents, whether it's mothers or it's fathers, and people start coming in twos, and they talk to us about this moment that happens when they see a show about a parent and a child, and then they go and have a drink together, which is something they don't do usually, or they wouldn't do usually. And I think what we've managed to do with this show is that we kind of find this little space for a parent and a child to go and be for a moment something else, and have possibly conversations they don't have usually, or they would never have. And there's a lovely critic in Moscow who said something like, as long as it's not too late to take your mother to this show won't break your heart. And I think that's the nicest thing anyone could say about the show.